dreams turn up from this we keep PK adventure travels in our hearts. Every journey a brand new start. Laughs and smiles on every side. Till the fun come for the ride. Island hopping, here we come. Sunny skies and beating drums. Finding treasures new and old. And with stories yet untold. Campfire glow under the stars. Whispers of the moonlit stars. In every corner secret calls. The world awaits in wonder and fall. PK adventure travels in our hearts. Every journey a brand new start. Laughs and smiles on every side. Join the fun, come for the ride.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, April Fools, everyone. Scott backed out on us. Sorry. No, I joke. We have him in the basement right now. We're trying to beat him into submission to come back on the show. So. But before we bring our esteemed guest on board, thank you all for stopping by on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day!
It is.
And we are here for some PKAT Chat to get you through the rest of the week. Thank goodness, right?
Yep.
All right. So before we get started, let's welcome in a few people, and then we will bring our host up. First up, well, who is the first up?
God, the man, the myth, the legend!
And you know what? Let's go ahead and just bring him up anyway, because, you know, he was here first. He deserved to be here with us.
Aw.
Well, thank you for that warm welcome, and I do love that button. So thank you,
Yeah.
PK crew. Hello, Christine and CJ and Ryan and Mel.
Howdy.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hop over here and have a little chat with us today.
Absolutely. Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday to everybody.
Wednesday.
Yes.
It is Wednesday. Yeah.
It is.
See?
For a little bit longer.
Winnie the Pooh sound. Happy Wednesday, Piglet.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, I remember
All right. Let's welcome in. You want to press buttons or you want to welcome in? Who wants to welcome in today?
I'll press buttons.
Okay. Christine, you can welcome in the first one.
Oh, hey, Danny D. Danny.
Whoop,
Wait,
whoop.
I have a new
Whoop,
sound.
whoop.
Hopefully that's short enough to avoid copyright. We'll see.
I think it is.
You can only rock out for 3 seconds.
Yep,
Yeah.
right. Next up, the fam. Hey, Ron.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Welcome.
So thanks for coming in. And then we have Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Thank you. And then we also have, where am I? What time is it? Yes, thank you, Coca Culture.
Welcome to the party, pal!
I won't hold you until 11 like someone did last night.
I know everybody's mad at me today because everybody stayed up late playing the 2 truths and a lie. I'm sorry.
That was fun, though. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hashtag replayed that this morning. I couldn't stay up that late.
It's on my list to watch.
And welcome in, Law Jones. Thank you.
Hi.
So I appreciate it. And then let's see here. We got everyone saying hi to one another. So we got Mom to See. Thank you for coming in.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
And then we've got Anfield Road Layout in the Loft. Thank you for coming in today.
I love me a good loft. I love a good loft.
I know, right? When we first moved to Florida, we actually ended up in some apartments that had a loft, and it makes it feel so much
It was pretty
better
cool.
with
Yeah.
the
Oh,
open ceiling versus, because you're already in an apartment and feeling scrunched, but at least the open loft and the raised ceilings made it feel
It
bigger.
was pretty cool. That was a cool part.
And you know what a loft always reminds me of? I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island. It always reminds me of going up to the Poconos, where you only had lofts up there. That was it. You had the ski lofts, ski houses. And that's what a loft always reminds me of.
Yep. And we were at, I think it was called Caesar's Palace in the Poconos, a ski resort or something up there. And I think it's called Caesar's, maybe.
Caesar's Palace is a casino in Atlantic City. That's the wrong direction from Long Island, sir.
Yeah.
Well, it's something. Caesar's something, I thought. But anyway, my uncle, he used to do murder mysteries before he became a grip in the movie industry. And he did a bunch of murder mysteries at that particular hotel. And so was comped like a ton of rooms. And so he brought the whole family out there. And my mom and dad had one of the rooms that had a champagne bathtub. So it looked like a champagne glass. And you got into the bathtub from the second floor, shag carpet walls, round bed that rolled together, and a heart
Maybe
indoor.
it was
swimming
called
pool in the
Caesar
suite.
something.
Is this your conception story you're telling?
No. Sorry, I got sidetracked when we started talking about loss. Okay, where were we? Coker, the fam. Oh, here we go. We've got whoop whoop Scotty J Travels.
Yay!
I watched your vlog this morning, Scotty J, right before I went to work. No, actually, when I woke up, believe it or not, right before I went to work.
And then we have Kathy and Bryant. Thank you for coming in here.
Hello there. Hello.
Travel Cake Trips.
Yeah, Travel Cake Trips.
We have lots of people's.
Yeah. Well, it's because Scott's here. That's why we have a lot of people.
He brings a lot of baggage.
It's because you guys are awesome. I just come as like the cherry on top. That's all I am.
Yep. Oh, yeah, back it up. I know. Thank you for keeping me in line, Danny. I started going on a tangent, and I'll just start talking for days here. All right.
Ryan's a talker.
I am.
Me
That's
too.
how come I've done. I guess it's because of all my customer service. I mean, you guys learned last night I did a lot of stuff with music and things like that, so you get over your fear of being in front of people.
Yes.
So, and then a lot of years in customer service, talking face to face with customers. So I learned how to BS with the best of them, especially being in retail.
Yeah.
My favorite part is when Ryan tells you a story he doesn't remember he told you for the third or fourth time.
Yes.
And then I just
It happens when you get old.
It does. I look over Melinda. Melinda knows he's told me the story before a few times. We just let him go because it makes him happy.
We just let him go. You give somebody a tap on the leg. I'll just let him go.
But then I have seen the eye contact, and I'm like, shit, I already told you this, didn't I?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, about 4 times, but it's okay.
It's all right, just tell him again. Sometimes the story changes slightly. I like to compare variants.
All right. Oh my God. Yes, and as Danny says, we all know the thing is hashtag Scott's fault.
That is today's hashtag of the day. It has been since the very, very moment I woke up. But that is okay.
Yes.
I know you guys all enjoyed it, so don't.
Oh, we
lie.
did. It was fun. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I didn't even hear him come to bed last night. So.
No, she was out. And I'm usually the one out cold. Yeah,
right.
When I said, Scott wants me on his live. She's like, when does it start? I'm like 9. She's like, your bedtime's like 8. So
I was
you
gonna say,
Yeah,
you're right. Your bedtime is like 8:45 at the absolute latest if you had caffeine after 5.
Mine too, legit. Mine too. I'm telling you, that was out of the realm for me, for sure, sure.
All right, so we digress. So while you're out there, a lot of people have already looked at the poll, but we do have a poll going on today, talking about what was your biggest concern, right? I can't click on it because if I click on it, it's going to mess it up. But basically, what was your biggest concern as a new cruiser, if you have cruised before? If you have not cruised before, then of those options, which would be your biggest concern?
Right.
And we'll look at that a little bit later.
I'd like the record to show that my option did not make it onto the poll. My option and my biggest fear is that I was so damn sexy I was going to get CJ napped. Somebody can steal me and take me home.
Put you in their cabin in the biggest closet and just
Yep,
keep you in there.
exactly. Like a bad Lifetime movie.
Oh my God.
Well, welcome in, Mike.
Oh wait,
Hey.
I moved the buttons. Hold
Yeah,
on.
we have a special one.
Mike.
Mike.
What
What day is it, Mike?
I figured if I went that far, then I probably would get copyrighted with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I guess one of the biggest things and kind of the focus was like packing tips for
Oh, yeah.
new cruisers.
Well, it's
That's one
not
of the
just
biggest things.
packing. It could be a variety of things.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, we got one more in and then we'll truly get started. So welcome in Ace Florida One.
Hey.
Bud. It is definitely the thing that you think of first. I mean, besides
Yeah.
booking it, right? Like, let's just take booking. Well, we'll talk about booking the cruise separately, but that's kind of like the first thing that you think of, right? Is packing. What am I going to take? What can I take? What do I take? How much of it do I take? Right? Those
When
are all
should I
things
start packing?
When?
Yeah.
When should I start packing?
The night before.
So don't ask.
Cheryl, you
Dear
packed
me.
2 years before your cruise. I mean, she's packed before she books a cruise. Cheryl, I know you're out there.
I know. I respect.
Yes.
I have so much respect for her for that. I mean, I like to be packed things at least 3 to 4 weeks out. No questions about it.
Yeah, they put it on their table too. So when we walk in their front door, I see them already starting to pack with other stuff on their table.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Have
when
you
you
packed
have
yet? No. We leave
When you-
tomorrow. Yeah, I know.
when you have a 4x12 dining room table, there's ample room to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
So, all right. So let's talk packing then. What were some of our biggest follies as new cruisers, and what would we share with the masses on? This is what we've learned. In our with all of us, we've probably cruised 50, 60, 70 times now with all of us
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, overpacking is, I think, the number one mistake.
Yeah.
that people make. Let's be real.
It is. But I also think when we first cruised back in 1999, our dress code was a little bit different than it is now. We
That's
dressed
true.
a little bit more formal.
Correct. Formal
Well-
nights were really.
Formal.
It was uncommon for someone to be casually or still in their shorts or board shorts and shirt and not participate. And they have become far less of a mandatory occurrence. Even I don't bother doing it anymore. Let's be honest.
True.
I've done it so many times. I'm like, I don't need to put on a fancy shirt that I'm going to get French onion soup on at dinner and ruined and things like that, or my baked Alaska down my pants. It's
So real. And yeah, like I'm still making those mistakes, right? I continually over and over again, I tell myself, oh, this is the cruise I'm going to take the least amount on. And somehow or another, I'm sitting on my suitcase and it's 49.2. And I'm like,
Ooh,
I just made it. Right. And I hardly wear any of the stuff that I actually bring with me. Right. You always say, oh, I don't want to leave home without it, or I don't want to be on the cruise without it, but you never actually use it. Right. And we've all been there. Don't tell me.
yeah.
I wear everything. No, everybody has been there. And for me, I'm actually guilty of it more than actually the half of the stuff that I bring. So I am definitely guilty of overpacking. And now I really have to be strict with the number of shirts I'm bringing on a 7-day cruise or an 8-day cruise, because it's gotten like there was at one point I was bringing like 30 shirts for a 7-day cruise. He was like, why? Like, I'm
clearly
gonna wear
dresses
them all.
for every meal and every breakfast, second breakfast, onesies, lunch, first dinner, second dinner, cocktails.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
wait,
sweat,
wait.
but I don't sweat that much. Believe me, I sweat, but I don't sweat that much.
Yeah, so Law Joes, I am not exaggerating. Mel and I alone have been on, I
Probably
think,
maybe close to 30.
25 or 30 just with Mel and I alone.
Mhm.
So, and I know, Scott, you've been cruising since the early 90s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't
DJ
even know how many.
Christina.
Yeah,
I-
we can't.
I mean,
I don't
Yeah.
remember how many we've been on.
I was a teenager the first couple of times with my parents, leaving out of Jersey, because I'm a Long Island boy too. So,
Same.
Yeah.
that,
And
that
then
was
all
Jersey to
Casino
Bermuda.
cruises, all those casino cruises after COVID and stuff like that
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys got as well.
Oh yeah, I
I
got a
mean,
lot
just
of
since
those.
COVID to
They're like-
now, it's at least 15 or 20 because you
Yeah,
were
oh,
cruising
those-
almost
yeah.
monthly.
I just
We-
got another one yesterday.
that we can't use. Another offer we can't use. But yeah, no, we did. We had a monthly cruise for almost 2 years
Wow.
Yeah.
out of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice to
Sometimes
see.
twice in a month.
We did occasionally, 5-week months. Sometimes we snuck in a second one.
Yeah.
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 We
No,
were naughty.
I would always rather cruise out of New York than Bayonne. I don't know, something about Bayonne. Oh,
I-
man, that cruise
Yeah.
port is like, oh.
Actually, isn't that-
it's a
that's
long,
the way
weird
we
way
went
to
out,
get
right?
to it. It's a strange, you know, the roads getting to it are really strange. I mean, you pass some super high-end golf courses and houses, and then you get to what looks like, was there a crime scene here this morning?
Yeah.
And then you get to the port, and it's like, oh, well, the port itself isn't bad, but you know,
Thank you.
weird displaced neighborhoods all over in that area, and it's the only way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So,
Bayonne, not
but
my
we like going out of Jersey if we're going up into Canada. Like the couple of times we've been to Nova
Oh, yeah.
Scotia and stuff,
Yeah.
for New Englanders, I feel like that's their Coco Cay. They hop on a 4-night type thing up into Canada. You know, they're in Canada for 2 days and they're back. That's like their weekend getaway up there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
real.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
What we got in chat, babe?
All right. So we got Vicky saying she met a lady
Oh.
who lost her luggage and had to buy basically
Ooh.
everything on the ship. Holy moly.
I hope she
That's
had
a
insurance.
First port. Yikes.
Wow.
Woo!
I've had my own luggage get its tag torn off and be held at security and have to get it. You guys remember that? Like everyone's luggage in.
Yeah.
It's 10
My hair
o'clock,
dryer
like,
was in
where
it.
the hell is my bag?
Yeah.
And there, you know, and I ended up having to go and like prove it was me and stuff. And
What?
those, yeah, and it's not like it was a crappy Carnival tag. It was a nice quality steel cable luggage
Yeah.
tag that was
I think
gone.
I still think it was the porter because he was pissed we didn't give him like $20 for the bag or whatever,
Yeah,
and was like, you know, pushing stuff around, and just his body language was like, oh,
It was
you're
a
only
problem.
giving me $10. It's like you had
only
to
5
take
bags.
5 bags, and it was literally a foot from the cart that I took out and gave to you, and you literally took it from me and turned around.
Yeah,
That's not a $20 tip.
It's
I'm
just
sorry.
$10 in 3 minutes sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I'll take
Yeah,
that tip
bro.
any day. You tell me what you want me to do. No, sorry.
hey,
No, I take that back.
hey,
Sorry.
inappropriate statements are my job, sir.
Yeah.
I'll leave them to you.
All right, Ron, you go enjoy. We'll give you a little.
Ron.
Disney's gonna come hunt you down. Be careful.
I know, right?
But, you know, I've seen some bad stuff. Now, a
Yeah.
lot of people don't
And,
know.
yeah.
I've actually worked at Port of Tampa. I have my TWIC and everything. So for a while, I was pushing people on and off Carnivals and Royal Caribbeans. I was doing it as a side gig when Uber dried up and stuff for a side job. And I've seen luggage fall right off of those forklifts, boom, right down into that water and be fished out with hooks and stuff. I'd be like, boy, I'm glad that's not my stuff. That's all I can say. So I know things happen. It does.
Yeah, Cruise Nuts has a lot. Yeah, you said 45 cruises and about 100 direct fly trips. So,
That's,
yeah.
I mean, that's the advantage for us living here. We don't have to fly as much.
Yeah.
Going to the port.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That isn't
And Laura wants to manage no check luggage. Well, on an airplane, I
we have
haven't
done
done that yet. But
We've
getting
done
on
that a couple of
cruises, we have
times.
done that a couple of times, just
Yeah.
pulling
Yeah.
it on and off.
Just to carry. And even on that stupid carry-on, I still had stuff I didn't wear.
Yeah, right.
What can I say?
So,
Yeah, I think one of my issues is whenever we go on a trip or cruise, I'm always like, oh, let me just go through my closet. I'll wear these things I haven't worn in a couple months or year. Yeah, guess what?
They come home, they get
Now I
washed,
get stuck
cleaned.
on a cruise with nothing to wear because I'm not wearing the things I haven't worn for a year.
Yeah.
that's
Right.
to go shopping.
Well, yes, and I do a lot of shopping.
Yeah.
A lot of
Let's,
shopping.
let's not talk about the times that you girls have had to buy extra suitcases to bring home your shopping stuff. Let's not.
Well, that's
It was
Let's
only
not
one
go
time.
there.
welcome in, Carnival Cruise Addicts.
Hey, well,
Yay.
He
But-
doesn't have his buttons?
so
Oh.
so
No.
I think we've beaten the overpacking horse today.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a first time cruiser thing to be really conscious of. And if you're in a suite or something that has laundry service, or you've got and you can minimize and do laundry, day 3 of a 6 night or something like that. It's really a good plan to, especially if it's keeping your stuff from being overweight, because
Mhm.
it's cheaper to spend $19 to get laundry midweek than it is another $30 or $40 for your overweight cost if you're flying and such like that. So that's a great tip. to think.
Yeah.
Or
And for
cruise
those
more,
folks-
and you can be platinum and get 3 bags for free. Just
I was getting ready to say we're going to be on Carnival again, and that's usually what I do, and I'll send it out. And
Yeah.
I'll usually either do it halfway, depending on how many bags I get and how long it is. I'll either do like a bag halfway,
Yeah.
but definitely like the last day or whatever. I'll send as much as I can stuff into that
Oh,
bag,
yeah. It's
and then
amazing.
they press it and clean it and put clean clothes up, and it's less laundry for me to do when I'm actually at the house.
Yeah.
bingo.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. We take full advantage of our laundry discounts on any of the ships that we're on. Absolutely, but
And that one time we tried to fill up the bags, and the lady's like,
oh, give me
"No,
more.
no, give me more,
I
give me
can
more."
fit more.
And she
Give me-
pulled out the trash bag. Remember that, guys?
Yeah,
Give me more.
I was like, I'll do it. Here, take my whole suitcase.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. That's the trip where Ryan accused me of stealing his wife's underwear.
I remember.
Yes. Well, let's be honest too. That was Alaska, and we had split again a 2-bedroom suite.
We
And
did.
not only us, but of the 4 suites on there, I think we had 2 of them, right? 2 of the 4.
Yeah, we had 2 of them.
There's our other group.
We had
Well,
2
yeah,
of
three,
2
yeah.
of the 4.
2 of the 4, 2
2 of the
And then
4
two
and the junior
junior
suite.
suites.
So
Yeah.
we were.
they were bending over backwards for us.
Let me say
Yeah.
hi
Yeah.
to the entire travelers.
Hey,
Hey,
Denise.
Getting ready for work.
that happens.
Yeah,
All right. So what's the next tip for first time cruisers?
I would say if you're going somewhere tropical, make sure you bring more than one bathing suit. Because if you're going to be by the pool, you're going to need more than one bathing suit.
That's true. Multiple bathing suits is something that we learned the hard way when we
Yes.
when we came
And
into
put
more
it
than
in
just-
your
yeah.
carry-on to the cruise so you can automatically go and change when you're on the ship.
Yes.
No one wants to sit in a wet bathing suit. Ugh. Ah,
Yeah.
I hate that feeling.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Wet,
But
cold, nasty, clingy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's not the best.
That does nothing for us, guys.
But remember, those pools fill up fast, and usually early embarkation day, if you get an early boarding time, if you've got your bathing suit, you can enjoy it because the rest of the time, like me, I don't want to be like this in a pool with 30 people. So if I can get a little dip in the pool early,
Go get your guy's
I'm
burger
good.
and then go to the pool.
Yeah. Grab a bite and hop in the pool. Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of carry-ons, I think people bring too much for carry-ons. They got to bring their bag, and they got to bring their cases of soda, and they got to bring their snacks and their whatever. Like, either leave all that extra stuff at home, because my guy, the food is free, or be smart. Bring a wagon. Put all that stuff in the wagon and drag it behind you, because you're walking around with, I've seen
three
so
cases,
many
324
people,
packs of Coca-Cola.
324 packs.
To be
True.
fair, I've only seen that because I've seen a lot of people doing all the ship tours. I've done a lot of Carnival and a lot of other ones. It's mostly Carnival because they have Pepsi.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
I've
nobody
seen-
wants that Pepsi crap.
Pepsi
Yeah.
sucks. That's true. if Carnival could do one thing to improve and entice me to try their cruise line, it would be get rid of Pepsi products. You're right.
Yeah,
Coca-Cola.
nobody wants a Jack and Pepsi. You want to
No.
you don't want a rum and Pepsi. You want a rum and Coke.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
Lucy
hey,
Ryan is
Lucy.
here.
Ooh, hey, Lucy, girl.
Hello,
Thanks for coming
Lucy.
in.
Yeah, I see it a lot on Royal too. Oh, and that celebrity cruise I went on. Oh my
Well,
god!
that's because you were with a bunch of old people on that particular cruise, I feel like. And they're
No,
like,
they-
if I don't bring my Trader Joe's weird ass soda that I can only buy in one little county with me, I'll never have anything to drink all week.
Most of those people on the celebrity ship were not old,
I'll go thirsty.
Yeah, exactly.
but they did bring a lot of soda. I mean, poor things. They dropped their 24 pack and it's all over the floor.
Yeah,
Like,
rolling everywhere.
my
Yeah.
goodness. Bring a wagon, guys,
Yeah.
or use a baby stroller.
Yeah.
Isn't my soda so cute?
Check out my soon-to-be doctor, Dr. Pep.
Imagine somebody did that. Oh my god.
I've seen that kind of stuff working at the port. I know that's why she jokes. It's the people do crazy things.
I
Yeah.
bet they have. I bet
mean,
they have.
First timers and not first timers. So, but all right. So yeah.
Now,
two
are
bathing
you
suits
guys
is-
packing cube, pro packing cube, or anti packing cube?
I'm anti, but Christine does tend to like them for certain things.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm both.
I'm a
She-
combination.
you know,
I'm a
socks
suck-a-luck
things
bag.
like that. She likes to cube.
You're a what?
Not the other stuff.
I'm a suck-a-luck bag is what I
the
call it.
heck is that?
All right, so it looks like a big Ziploc bag, and you can
Okay.
suck the air out of it. So it's a compression bag. It's not like a packing cube, but it's a big Ziploc bag, and we get the ones that are, I guess, gravity pushed out, so it's a one-way exit.
One-way valve.
I have enough girth here to be able to smush that sucker without worrying
It
about bringing a
flattens
pump.
it so you can bring more stuff.
That's true.
So
It
it's like
does
a
affect
back
the
steel bag, but you just lay on it.
But I just lay on it, and it pushes the air out. Yep.
Now, that's for
Well,
packing. Keep in mind, he
genius.
also uses that same bag for his autoerotic asphyxiation. It's a dual purpose.
Oh, I see why you bought it now. Hey, send me the link when you get a chance.
Yeah, I will.
Asking for a
but
friend.
Yeah.
I actually,
Friend, come to the complimentary belt.
Mel thought I was crazy when I first got them, but I actually got it specifically because I was traveling with the pipe band. I was in the Dunedin Scottish pipe band for a couple of years. And so bringing the kilt and the whole everything like that, it takes up a lot of room.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what the heck? Let me get these. Let me see if I can get it in to there and compress it to make more room, in a single bag for not only my entire kilt, but the clothes I need for a week in Canada for the Highland Games. And it worked like a charm.
It was great when we brought our winter jackets for Alaska.
Yeah.
I mean,
we all did that. It's true. That's the one time.
Presses it down, and it really saves that space.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you got to be careful because now you can pack more crap in your bag. And if you have that 50-pound weight limit or whatever it is, it is very, very easy to put too much weight in there.
Yes.
And is it something? So is that something that you bring with? Do you do it on the reverse when you come home too? Do you bring the little thing that you need to do that on the way home, or
To what?
Yeah, because since it's gravity fed, it's just the big Ziploc bag.
Yeah, there's no special tool.
There's no tool or anything.
He doesn't need a pump for his version. It's a one-way
I'll go get
valve
it and show
only.
you guys, actually. I'll be right back.
It's literally Ryan lays on it and sucks all the air
He
out.
lays on it, pushes the air out, and it's done.
Yeah.
Now,
we need a short of this, right? We need a short, and I want you laying down I want the whole action. I want you laying. I want you sucking. I want the whole thing.
be careful.
wanna
He might
see this.
just worm his way across the thing.
Yeah. And then I want to buy them because that actually sounds like it would save a lot of space. I mean, right? Because they become like super thin, and
they
you
do.
just lay them in the suitcase, and they just lay on top of each other.
Here it is.
You can get them in different sizes too.
Yeah, they come in different sizes. This is the bigger one, but you can see it's like a big Ziploc bag. And then the bottom, you can see the perforation there, which is the one-way airflow. So when you put something in here and it puffs up, it pushes the air out the bottom, and it compresses it and sucks it into a smaller footprint.
Dang, and I need those. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they were really great for the winter jackets in Alaska. Obviously, leaving Florida, there was no way in hell we were wearing, the kind of coats and such that we needed to be up there for a week. So that did really help.
And actually, plug for another video. If you haven't seen our packing for Alaska or Caribbean packing, I actually do have it in there, and you can see it full and then see it compressed.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely need a short of this whole process too.
I
don't think you heard that when I was gone, but we need a short of it.
A little high speed action of you filling it up and mushing it down.
It would be a viral short.
But yeah, that thing has been the game changer. So it really just helps it. Oh man, I'm the one who forgot to put myself in. No, that's Robert.
On Amazon, it was like $14 for 25 bags.
Yeah, they were nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
The one that I got, I think, came with like 4 of the large ones and like 6 of the small ones.
Yeah,
or
you
something
do
like
have
that.
to replace them after a while. After you use them multiple times, you got to replace them.
Eventually that seam at the bottom.
I mean,
Just
I've
does
had
give out.
mine for like
You've had it for
2-3 years,
about 2 years.
and haven't had to replace mine yet.
It's probably close.
It's getting closer because I think ours were about 4 years,
Yeah.
3-4 years before it started to slowly fail, and it would puff back up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. We got them
Yeah,
around the
that's
same
good.
time.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay if it puffs back up after you've sealed your suitcase. Nobody cares
Yeah.
that. So
Uh,
yeah, get in the pool before anyone pees in it. That's all.
yes,
True.
yes.
True.
Yeah.
they really should use the blue dye in those pools.
Like
Nobody
the
would go pool there.
park. The pools would be dyed permanently. That would
No.
be bad.
Literally.
You know.
All right, so what else have we
Embarkation day
got?
to debarkation day.
Yeah.
right.
So, are we missing anything in the chat that we need to
I'm
catch
looking.
up with? Because we've been
We were just talking some cruise nuts
Ah,
like packing
packing
Okay.
cubes. Yeah.
I
like
must
it for
say,
certain things. Bulky things. I think it really helps with like when I'm doing my shorts and my bathing suits and things like that. Like my undershirts and like boxers and things like that. I don't need packing cubes for that. But
No.
like if
Yeah.
I'm taking a hoodie or something like that, if you roll it up and put it in a packing cube, it does save a decent amount of space.
Yeah,
I was
cruise
gonna say,
nut
I'm
is
a big roller. Yeah, I tend
I
to
am
roll
too.
my stuff into the case as opposed to traditional folds too.
Yep.
I find that better.
Right.
as,
Right.
as the habitual overpacker,
Yeah.
in my
No.
and over shopper,
No.
Foodie's Vacation uses a giant freezer bag from Target.
I mean, that's a good idea
That
too.
works too.
But in
Yeah.
my opinion, the packing cubes don't really help. The suck-luck bags don't really help. The best advice I can give is shove it in there.
Yeah.
Just
Wait,
get it in
where's
there.
that?
Pull your clothes tight, and in between those socks,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
like
fit a souvenir. And
You heard it here first, folks.
Use your bra to your advantage. Put some bottles in there.
Oh,
Shove it in.
just shove it in there and use
Shove
your
it in
bra.
there. And then when you're done, sit on it and zip it up.
that's another method.
That is my method because I never have enough room ever.
Yeah, now the bra thing is true though. We have already gone out on Nassau, bought liquor and stuff that would normally be confiscated, but made sure it had no metal caps or anything like Grey Goose and stuff. Put them under her boobs in a bra and just walk
right
straight
onto
through
the ship.
straight through that metal detector. With two goose
Tip
under
of the day.
with two goose under boobs.
Here's
Stay
the
packing,
tip
folks.
of the day. Just a tip.
Just the
This were supposed to be legal tips and tricks, not
Legal tips.
illegal tips and tricks.
So what
A nip for a nip? A nip for a nip? Is that what that's called?
Yeah,
When you put
yeah.
a
Nip
nip
for a
for a
nip.
nip?
Yeah, exactly. Hey babe, let me get a little nip.
Which one?
Oh, we did that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Tracy, the other cruise nut.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
So you know it's clean. Yeah, you use one as a hamper, I guess, kind of like the dirty roll-ups.
You walked into CJ being CJ. Usually I tame him back, but every now and then I let him be his authentic self, right? That's what we want to see on here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, talking about Cheryl, there's Cheryl. Oh, Eddie's here too. Okay.
Oh,
Just talking about Cheryl.
Hi.
Rocky is here
orange
too.
cone box here.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
Where did you guys see that? Did I get? Oh, I didn't scroll down enough.
Yo.
Hey, Eddie.
I'm cleaning the house.
That's right.
No.
Oh my god! Come on.
That's a great one. No.
There we go. Right.
Oh, that's a great.
Oh my god! There's so many people. There's so many people in the chat right now.
Are they all talking about Ryan's auto asphyxiation?
That'll be on the next two truths and a lie.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right. What else we got? Scott, all about it. Shove it in there. I think. Look, there's not a cruise that goes by where I don't try to shove it in there either.
Oh
So.
my
I mean, hey,
Eddie.
you're not wrong.
You're
not
wrong,
exactly. I
Jeremy.
mean,
Right
even if
about
I
that.
rolled it up for storage, I'm still going to try to
Yeah.
shove it in there.
Yeah.
Cheryl.
I found a thing for you here, Cheryl and Jeremy. Here it is.
Do you
my God.
What do you think about that one, Scott? You like that one?
Oh, that's good. Oh, Cheryl, we were talking and we were saying how long we pack before cruises. And I said Cheryl packs 4 years before her cruise, before she even books it. She's packed. And she's like, yeah.
She's like, I
You know.
have this particular set of types of clothes. Let's go find a cruise where it works.
Oh my God, I've done that before.
She's going, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have all this winter clothes. Let's go somewhere cold. Okay.
Here we come. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. What are we supposed to be talking about?
I don't know. We're supposed to be talking about tips and tricks, and we got on a tangent. And Danny, you're not holding me. You're letting me go askew, Danny.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got? We've talked about. Hey, let's talk about getting to the port timely.
Yes.
So you can plan parking and such. You know, some places have great parking, and some places, you know, you've got to take, you know, 2 trains, a bus, and an Uber to get back from the parking lot. So that's something you need to plan. You know, whether you're first time or not, if you're changing ports, that's an important one. Plan out your time for parking. We've been in Canaveral way too early.
Yeah.
Way too early.
Way like 2 hours too early.
Yep, way too early. Like they won't even open the parking garage and let you in.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been there like literally like how are we, you know, where are we going to park? You know, I guess we're driving 3 exits down the highway, you know, to an off-site because, you know, we got delayed by an hour. So we've seen it happen both ways. So that's an important first time cruising tip and general, you know.
I would much rather be early. Like I would rather just take a joyride, 3 exits, and come back and go find like a Waffle House or something and hang out there than be late. Right? I would rather be early. I'll find something to do. I'll find another parking lot. I'll find a Target. I'll find something. I don't care.
I mean,
But
I don't know about Waffle House, buddy. Waffle House and Christine don't get along. You know,
Waffle House is the bomb.
yeah,
That's
Christine
not
don't. Christine, you know, Christine doesn't do Waffle House. It just doesn't happen. But
Yeah, you're
a Dunkin' Donuts and that a Dunkin' Donuts or somewhere for me to go play Pokemon. I'll go play Pokemon for now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Panera Bread too, but I don't know why Waffle House.
Now
came out first,
here is another tip, and just a tip.
Just
The best Dunkin' Donuts
Yeah.
is around the corner from Port Canaveral on A1A Beachfront Avenue, and it's literally the #1 Dunkin' Donuts in the state of Florida. I brought Ryan and Melinda there many of times.
Yep.
Our whole inner circle many a times. Never heard a complaint.
No.
It's always, oh, this Dunkin's the best.
Yep.
So it's about maybe a mile past
It's a mile or 2 down past. You know, once you pass Canaveral's, you know,
on the
A and
left-hand
B
side,
options.
just
She knows
a
it well.
block from Ron John's, the
Yeah.
#1 Dunkin'.
You know,
And
It
don't
is.
fool you, it looks run down, but it's
gorgeous.
literally the best.
don't let it fool you.
Yeah. And there's literally like 3 tables inside. It's super tiny, and there's this little patio outside that has about 4 tables.
Yep.
But
But
the
it's a
coffee has always been made perfectly
Yes.
when we go there, and it's right up from the port. So yeah, if we're there early, that's our go-to.
Yeah,
We
and it's like
have
it's like
table.
half a mile south of the strip club, Cabaret, Lids Cabaret.
Well, that's what we do.
Just in case you need something else to do to kill your
If
time
you-
while you're there.
If you need directions,
if you don't
CJ
mind-
can get you there
If
by
you
the
don't
strip
mind the
club.
Thursday morning D team at noon at the strip club, it's a great place to go.
Best lunch specials in Port Canaveral there is, baby.
That's right. All
Steak and legs.
You know,
steak and legs and all you'll never want to eat. Okay. Oh, I'm in rare form tonight, guys. This one's gonna
You
get
are.
Oh my
You
God.
are. But yeah, but I agree. Just getting there early is usually the best thing. And depending on where you're going, sometimes even pre-booking and paying for parking, if that's an option,
Oh yeah.
is it's one less stress to have to worry about. Hey, I know I've got a spot. It's already been accounted for. It's not something you're going to have to either pay when you get there, or some ports we know they charge when you actually leave. So, it just gets that out of the way and less stress if you can pre-book something.
Yep,
Yeah.
Now,
definitely.
On the other side, let's talk about for people that don't park at the port or don't drive their cars because they got to drive from or they got to fly from a landlocked state like Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know why you chose Arizona. I'm baby.
First problem is you're in the wrong state.
We have 9 beautiful months out of the year. Only 3 months is like living in my oven over there while it's baking brownies. The rest of it is beautiful.
Don't worry,
We don't have any cruise ports. We don't have any cruise ports, but we do have to fly to all of our cruise ports. And of course, that always rings the question. And a lot of people ask, do you fly into the cruise port, right, that I'm flying into the day before, 2 days before, or do you fly the day of, right? And
Yeah.
honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit of a hybrid. I'm a little bit of both because I would like to, if I could, in a perfect world, I would love to fly a week before into my port that I'm going out of and have a whole week there. But you want to know what this thing called PTO, paid time off, for those people that are not eligible for PTO, but PTO, paid time off. I don't have enough of that, unfortunately, to spend time at the port or extra days. Sometimes I do, and I'm able to allot an extra day, and that's usually when I go to places like Miami or Florida or New Orleans or New York, where I'm going really far. If I'm going to take a cruise, let's say from California, do like a little Mexican Riviera for 3 days, I'm probably going to fly in, and I would not advise this, the day of. And that's just circumstantial to what I have to deal with and what I'm dealing with as far as PTO, because that's what I'd rather do. I would rather risk, right, flying into California an hour and a half versus 3.5 or 4.5 hours to somewhere like Florida and actually missing that cruise. Because if I were to miss a Florida cruise, well, I could probably go stay with one of my buddies in Florida, but of course that would be heart-wrenching to obviously miss a cruise that you've paid for, and you're not getting any of that back. If you miss the ship,
sayonara. See you later.
bye.
Too bad, so sad. SOL.
SOL. So I always, if I can,
Blood is something dead.
yeah, if I can, I will always try to fly in the day before, no matter where it is. Even if it's somewhere close and I have the extra day, I will, because I want that security knowing that, hey, I'm going to get my butt on that cruise ship.
Yeah.
Right. I paid for that cruise. I want to get on that cruise ship, and I don't want anything to go awry.
Yeah.
And
No, makes sense.
the little time, the smaller amount of time that you leave yourself before embarkation, the more time there is for something to go wrong, right? And let's just say something does go wrong and you're there the day before. Well, guess what? You can handle it. It's done, and now you can still get on the cruise because you were there, a day and a half before, or a day before, whatever it may be.
Really weird thing. True. And
All right.
We also found recently, this real recent with our Norway trip, the all-inclusive where you get the airfare through the cruise line. Mm-hmm. So now we weren't going to do that because it's just so expensive normally, right? Yeah. And we found our airfare for what we thought was cheap. And then the Silver Fox, Fred, decided he's going on the Norway with us. And he did book his airfare through the cruise. And it was half the price of what we paid privately.
He got a better price.
Oh, wow.
So I really do think.
But there was a couple of months in between those bookings.
I really do think that, if you're booking your flight through the cruise, they're not going to leave without you.
Generally speaking.
There
are limits to that.
And well, I've even heard they'll fly you to the first port because you're guaranteed. Right. Now, with that, you really got to be keeping an eye out almost every day. Uh-huh. How cheap does that flight get? Because clearly it gets much cheaper than the average person thinks. I think it's one of those things that's like undersold because it's usually too expensive.
Yeah.
People don't take the time to look for that deal because you could get a deal like you do on the cruise.
Sometimes, yeah. So look, Alaska, we went in a day and change early.
We did.
But for our trip to Europe and Norway, we just don't have the PTO to do it. As a matter of fact, we're not even. I hope nobody from work is watching because our work told us the only way we were allowed to be away, specifically me in my position, for that length of time to go to Europe on a 14-day was a mandatory bring my laptop, and I have to work during that time.
Well, we both are working.
Well, yeah.
Well, sometimes
quite mandatory.
sometimes you gotta want to account for like the time change. So if you want to, you have to do an adjustment on time change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take into consideration.
That's why we flew out early to Alaska, because not only was it 3 hours, but when we got on the ship, we lost another hour. So we were operating 4 hours
Yes.
Yep.
behind our normal time.
We only flew in early because Melinda wanted to stick her on the gum wall.
That's
I
right.
did.
Sticker
Exactly.
stuff on the gum.
The gum wall. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are some great answers.
That was some
Those were some
gross.
good answers that night. She went to stick her tatas on the gum wall.
All right, well, we've got a few people, and we'll get caught up in the chat and then get back to talking. So we got Andy.
Bodie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Bodie.
And then just for the record, Vicky's our girl with Uber.
Nice.
Uber
We
girl.
got we got the down low. And then, yeah, Mike was saying that they usually go in 2 days before.
Smart Mike.
And then Ross is saying that 3 months of the year, Scott's like cremated pizza.
You're not wrong. Rob. You're not wrong. It's coming up too. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Kathy Brad, they usually fly in the day before. And it's usually what we try to do is at least a day before if we have to fly somewhere.
We've
There's
had
Mark
our
Rivers.
flight be detoured because of weather.
Yeah. And then, waiting to hear about a new job, unlimited PTO.
I
Cool.
wish.
I could get one of those.
Right? Here's the
It's the
catch,
new
though.
thing.
Can you
it's a
actually
new
take
thing,
it?
and you work
Yeah.
usually about 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. and it's a cash business. I could go into more detail, but I won't.
Yeah, because my problem is that I get almost 2 months of vacation.
That he
wow.
can't use.
But the problem now is, for whatever reason, it used to be where, hey, you know what, 2 weeks from now, I want to go somewhere for a couple of days. Yeah, no problem. Now it's back to basically I've got to book it a year in advance because they only let 5 or 6 people off total per day for the department. And so
wow.
a good deal pops up and I'm like, hey, 4 months from now, I want to go on a week vacation. Nope, sorry, no time available.
Right.
So it's hard, really hard to have all this time and not really be able to be as flexible. I mean, I know if they can work with us, they really do try to work with us, but you know, it's hard if there's something that's a really good deal that pops up and it's like, I want to go do this, but hey, you know, there are 5 people already off and 4 other people are already waiting for that day off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same thing in my job. Same thing.
So, but
Carnival Cruise,
Dinner.
had a good dinner.
what? You don't
Enjoy.
need to eat.
Don't need to eat.
Wait, are you
That's
going
sound
to
bites.
wait, are you going to the main dining room for dinner, or do you have specialty reservations this evening?
Specialty reservation.
What else? Wait, what's this one? What's
We don't book through the cruise line. We
we the bougie first
Oh,
class. There you go.
Yeah, my parents have
I like
moved
it.
to
What's,
the world of
Vicky
first
saying?
class.
So sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I would agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
I'll just take you back. I'll take you back. Go
Big
with me.
fear.
The year is 1999.
Oh, wait.
We're,
I gotta.
we're on a Delta flight, and we fly
That's
into
our
Miami.
First cruise right there.
That's paradise.
Paradise.
Yeah.
Now it's
But that was my biggest fear. You know, it was Mel and I's honeymoon, and we're flying into Miami. First time we've ever taken a cruise, and just like everyone, there wasn't no internet back then. You know, well, I take that back. There was internet, but it wasn't to the level that
It was
we have
dial-up.
now. It was dial-up. It was, you know,
Static web
geospace, geospace, personal websites. There was no just, let me Google how to do this.
He was still trying to figure out who to make his top 4 on MySpace.
Yeah.
Ryan
And there was-
clearly, Ryan
And there was
clearly
definitely no
has
bright
never
line
heard-
either.
Yes, no,
Right.
but it was like, okay, when I get to the airport, you know, how am I going to find where to go? Is there going to be somebody there that tell me where to go? Because supposedly I have transfers from Carnival to get me from the airport to the port. But, you know, where do I go? Who do I see? Is it easy? Was there someone holding a sign? Do you have to go to a certain place in the airport? And I was, you know, trying to anyone who had ever been out of there. I'm like, you been on a cruise before? You been on a cruise? How did you get there? How did you do this? Where was this? And I was freaking out. Just like, I don't want to miss the ship.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a
I
good
get
thing
that.
that there's now Uber and there's a thing called the interwebs now. And
Yes.
Mobile interwebs.
I don't know
Mobile
what.
and mobile.
Where do you live under a rock? You clearly have never heard of AOL. It had everything back in the day. Was it slow?
Well,
Yes, it was very slow. But
You
it was
didn't have it here though.
You're just spoiled by that thing.
let me get my flip phone out.
My
that
Motorola.
was when you had to still
I have
print out
one.
MapQuest directions to the port
Yep.
Yes.
before you left the house.
Yes.
Or you had to go get a AAA triptych.
Yeah, what's wrong with you guys? AAA, duh.
I remember those days.
They could only get A and a half. They
You know,
couldn't afford all three A's.
I'm real good with the triptych.
Yeah.
But yeah, between that and old fashioned having paper tickets and stuff like that. So do you have your cruise documents? Did you accidentally put it in your suitcase versus your carry-on bag? And that
Your
that was.
passport.
Oh my God, the
These
dog ate my
staffers
passport.
nowadays have no clue how difficult it was back then.
That's true.
I mean, we were joking before the show started about there was no deck plan on a mobile device. There were those little flip things that were the
Yes,
size
yeah,
of a
little-
credit card that they kind of squeeze things into there, and you're trying to figure it out on where to go.
Yeah.
Where am I? There was
So
no
that
you
brings-
are here. No, you are here.
Yeah.
That brings the question of, if you're a first-time cruiser, do you only use your electric devices to get yourself around, or do you still print out the paper as well?
True.
Well, you can use your electric devices first because they're trying to encourage you to use those to less waste of paper. But if you ever need it, you can request it. You can ask for a paper copy. They'll give it to you. But
I
it's on
know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I would
well,
say,
road
like,
cruise.
I still bring both to this day.
Yeah, I still
What if
do
I
that.
lost my phone? What if it doesn't work? What if they have crappy Wi-Fi?
We still, especially with Royal, when we get our cruise booklet, we're printing our luggage tags. I do still print a paper copy of the sail pass equivalent to have tucked in with the passports and vaccination cards, which those we don't need anymore, but they're still in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were still tucking a paper copy in ours.
Yeah, and airline tickets too.
Same with airline tickets.
Always.
Yeah.
Just like
Weird.
cruise nuts just said, in case of a Wi-Fi meltdown, you never know. Like you could just turn out to the port and it's like, hey, we just went blackout. Like there's no internet. They're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I've kind of moved into that digital space now. I used to do that, to print out paper copies of everything to bring with me. Now I don't. Now it's just on my phone. So
Yeah.
I figured if it's not there, then their electronics should be able to find it, when I get in there to check in.
Come back to the paper side. Come back. Come back to the paper side.
I get it. If you're a first-time person and you want the first-time cruise or a second time even, and especially if it's something you had to fly to and such, having a paper backup is never a bad idea.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
As a tip, print them out. They're always provided, like I said, in the cruise documents and in the emails and stuff you've gotten when you booked, or your travel advisor can walk you through or get them, and help you out with that. And
And then you can put it in your scrapbook when
Yeah.
you're done.
yeah, exactly. If you're one of those, you're one of those weird people who collect crap and put them into binders and then put those
It's
binders
called
on shelves.
scrapbooking.
that-
Hello.
Hey, look, I had to build my parents a bookshelf for all their cruise compasses and junk that they save. They save all that crap from all the cruise lines they've been on, and with the amount of cruises they've been on and their level, I mean, literally, I swear to God, if we ever went to Antarctica, I'd take that with me as a heat source and burn it.
I have to admit, the first 10 cruises I went on, one of the things that I really do enjoy is going on with a first time cruiser. Now, obviously being, like 40 something cruises in, I love taking someone that has never cruised before. But starting out, right, when I was 21, it was not my first time cruising. It was my first time cruising without my parents. But taking a friend with me, right, I was always the one that was setting up the cruises. So for the first 10 or 15 cruises, I would print out a folder. I would print out everything. I mean, boarding passes to the the contract that you had to sign. I would print it out. I'd put it in a folder and I'd put a little label on it and I'd give it to my friend. I'd have one for me. So believe me, I know about the bookshelf. I didn't build myself a bookshelf, but I had binders full of crap that I ended up throwing out or shredding because obviously you don't need it. If I, 2001, I mean, it's 2025. I clearly don't need those anymore. And I shredded those. But yeah, I mean, I understand it. I did it. You kind of feel like, hey, I got my folder. I got all my documents to get on this boat or ship.
Yeah.
Sorry, ship. And if they want to deny me boarding, then hey, I got it all right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but no, I don't.
We'll never deny you boarding on our channel. You're always welcome to embark here.
Thank you.
That's right.
Part of the PK crew.
Well, we got Vicky's first ever was Fantasy out of Port Canaveral. There you go.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Mine was on the big red boat.
Well, look at that. So was Wendy's.
Oh, the fantasy too.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, your first bougie was Marnik of the Seas in '97.
Monarch. Wow.
Wow.
I would also probably suggest if it's somebody's first time cruise, maybe not target the big ships, maybe something in the middle. That way you don't have to go out.
Yeah. If you're looking to just quote unquote dip your toe
Yeah.
for the first time, you're not going to get on the Wonder or the Icon or the
But
Utopia.
if you want to party with 6,000 people,
Maybe.
yeah.
I mean, you say that, but really, they built those big old ships. Cruisers.
Yeah.
I mean, cruisers.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
My addiction with you people.
She forgot we're actually live to the world.
Yes. Drops at the bottom there.
I love that.
Yeah, I caught myself.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
But it's true, with so many different cruise lines out there and so many different sizes and classes of ships, I think it's really important as a first-time cruiser or any cruiser, right, to ask yourself the question, why am I taking this vacation or why am I taking this cruise, right? Is it to see a new ship? Is it to see a huge ship and I just want to see the ship? Okay, well, then the ship is important to you.
Yep.
Or do you really want to, for some reason, go to the Bahamas or some reason go to Alaska or some reason go to, Key West, right?
Yep.
Well, guess what? Then the ports are more important to you and the ships are less important to you, right? There are things when you're booking a cruise that you have to kind of ask yourself, what's important and why am I taking this cruise? And it could change, right? I could be wanting to go to Alaska this time and I don't care what ship. You could take me in a dinghy. As long as you take me to all the ports in Alaska, I'm fine. But this time when I'm going in July, I'm going with a different set of friends and I really want to rock it out and I want to take them on a new big, huge ship because I want a lot of stuff to do. Roller coasters, IMAX, ice skating, all the 9 yards that are on a cruise ship that probably shouldn't be there. Then that's a different reason, right? So I think you just have to ask yourself,
what do you want out of it? Yeah.
What do you want out of it? What do you want out of this cruise and why am I going? And that's a really good question to ask yourself.
I definitely think that it's a more experienced cruiser's thought process, though.
It is.
A first-time cruiser, they're looking for that floating resort. They want to go to Disney on water.
Yep.
Right? Is there something for my kids? Can I eat for free? Can I drink for free? It's not free, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for those things. And I don't think that they take into consideration, especially here in Florida, like a cruise is a weekend getaway for us.
Yeah.
With the right price.
Yeah. Or if you're in any state with a relative access to a port.
Yeah.
Within an hour or two drive. I mean, an hour or two drive is, if you're in a landlocked place like Arizona, would be nothing to drive 2 hours to do something.
Wow.
5 hours minimum.
Fantasy. Another Fantasy's first.
Wow. 3 people on Fantasy for the very first
I saw
time.
that.
Wow.
Fantasy.
I really don't know what the first ship I was on. I know that it's no longer in operation. And my parents have told me that at some point in the past. It was a Royal Caribbean. It was before the Of the Seas series. So back when they were called things long before that in the 90s. And I'm pretty sure they said it's either sold or since been retired, scrapped and retired. I just don't remember the name, unfortunately. So I have been on the actual Love Boat, though. The physical one used in the filming. I was on my parents took me when I was, I think, 15 or 16, when Princess retired that ship. They had the actor who played Captain Stubing on the ship that welcomed you on, and that was the final cruise that it did before it was retired and scuttled.
Aw.
That was a cool thing to do.
Cool. Welcome in to Cruise Life. I don't think we said hi to you yet.
Pete and Lisa.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. And actually, the Vista coming up this July was a destination pick because Mel wanted to be on the very first ship at Celebration Key.
There you go.
So she did the research and she's like, it's this Vista. It's an 8-day. It's going to get there on this day. I want to be on this ship because we want to be the first ones, in the first
Going to
group
the
that goes
AB
there.
and not the Sea Island.
Yeah, so we're doing Aruba, Bonaire, and then Celebration Key. And then 4 days at sea. So we splurged and got an interior room, but a spa interior room. So we'll have access to the thermal suites the whole time.
Yeah.
4 sea days and access to the thermal suite.
Oh, more vlogs with Ryan shirt off, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
No, they don't
That's
allow you
really
to film
nice.
in couples mudroom.
I won't have to do a day of shooting a tour because Mel's already done a
I've already done
highlight
the
tour.
tour.
Will you bring the flag with you?
Sure, why not?
Well, sure. Put it in your compression bag.
Hey, Logie.
They will.
They will.
They will.
Yeah, I'll bring it in there, compression bag. I'll take my shirt off and I'll do one of these.
Yeah. We'll get a
Does the
V2
Vista have
with
a
a
helicopter?
video. We'll get a V2
And then
with
it'll
that
be
video.
Florida man kicked off cruise ship for hanging over the side, waving a Buccaneers flag.
Do they have a helicopter pad on the Vista?
Oh.
I honestly can't remember.
I don't think so.
Oh, because that'd be a great place to do your
Royal
flagging.
lets you on the
That
Right?
would be.
You know what? On Carnival, even if there was one, it's not like most Royals that let you go up there and they have
Christine
benches.
was just starting to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually blocked off. If anything, it's for crew to go hang out.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, the
That
Vista
would be
is
funny.
nice.
See, and this is why we've had to slow down our cruising rolls, is because I won't take anything less than a balcony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody's
So
just
we
snobby.
kind of can't afford to cruise
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
that many cruises if I gotta have a balcony every
No,
day.
we picked
Yeah.
a huge 14-day trip to Europe.
We
this
also
year.
did
Let's
that.
face
yeah.
it. You know, we put that in the works more than a year and a half ago, basically.
Mhm.
We acknowledged that we weren't going to take a bunch of weekenders to Coco Cay or, a few 4 days to Mexico here and there, because we were going to do a huge, massive, big trip for the Northern Lights in September when they're at their peak at the 11-year scientific cycle when the sun changes poles from north to south, and that's why
True.
this trip is what it is. And even if her ankle that she broke had fallen off, I think I still would have dragged the rest of her on this. We'd leave the ankle at home on ice, but the rest of her would
Oh,
come with us.
What cruise are we talking about?
Now, are you asking CJ and Christine or Mel or I for which cruise? So for Mel and I, well, I guess we'll just go over both. So for Mel and I, we're on the Carnival Vista, and it's what is it, July 12th? I want to say.
something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
July
going to be the first ship on the new island for Carnival, or not island, but new.
The
Right.
exclusive
Yeah,
area. It's not even a
exclusive
private
area.
because it's part of Grand Bahama, so an
Yes.
exclusive area.
It's not an actual private island.
Celebration.
So ours is it's an 8-day Carnival Vista.
What app do you have that's tracking all your cruises?
This is the Shipmate.
Oh, Shipmate. Okay.
I love
and
it. Mate. Shipmate's great.
Yeah, and it's an 8-day, 4 sea days, and then we do Aruba, Bonaire, and then the Celebration Key. You know, the new exclusive area
Exclusive.
for Carnival. That honestly, we're going to actually do an episode in June on our live where Mel and I will talk about everything we've learned as travel agents and say, this is what we were told. This is what they told travel agents. And then we're going to have an after. Okay, once we got there, this is actually, what we experienced and did it work or did it not work? I can already tell you, at least on paper, if you've been to Coco Cay and your mind is, oh, it's Coco Cay, but for Carnival, no.
It's not.
I think there are a lot of
Nickel and diming.
nickeling and diming that's happening at the Carnival one that's already included on the Royal one. So
Interesting.
But
yeah,
we'll talk about
but we'll
it.
talk about that. We won't talk about that now.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about that in June before we go and kind of give you the down low and the skinny on that.
But Christine and CJ's is 2 weeks.
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's-
so ours is September 26th, 2 weeks leaving out of Southampton.
England, Southampton, not Long Island, just to clarify.
Yeah, not
Yes.
England, Southampton, England, and going up to Norway and going all around Norway and fjords, and then back to Southampton. And we are going to go to Stonehenge on the way home.
Yes. Yeah.
So excited.
So we only are doing 2 excursions that whole time. The trip out to the slate quarry or rock quarry, where you're up at the Arctic Circle for the lights, and then once we're back in England, we're going to do the transfer combo where they'll take us and luggage out to Stonehenge, and then bring us to the airport for our flight that night.
Yeah. The
That's
rest
cool.
of the time, I'm like
Yeah,
Dora
rocket
the
cruise.
Explorer. I just want to explore.
Yeah, we'll just wander, aimlessly around European countries with people who don't speak our language and try not to get deported.
Well, my family's also from Norway, like my great grandmother and my grandmother.
So
Lived
she's
in
going to go try and
Norway.
find their houses.
So I'm really excited just to say I walked on the same streets they walked on.
It's like, oh,
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we're gonna. Let's see, Ryan. Since you're going to be on World America, can we convince you to do a side by side?
You know what? It doesn't take a lot to convince me to do that. The problem is vacation time and availability.
Yeah.
But send me the details. Why not? I'll never say no if there's a way that I can finagle it.
Never say no to another cruise.
And speaking of the World America, let's break from a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Attention all adventurers and travel lovers. Are you ready to embark on the ultimate getaway? Join PK Adventure Travels for an unforgettable group cruise aboard the brand new MSC World America, a ship that redefines luxury and adventure on the high seas. This is a 7-night Caribbean cruise departing from vibrant Miami, Florida on November 22nd, 2025. Imagine spending Thanksgiving week surrounded by turquoise waters, warm sunshine, and breathtaking destinations. Here's what's in store. Explore the tropical paradise of Roatan, Honduras. Discover the stunning beauty of Costa Maya, Mexico. Dive into the vibrant culture and crystal clear waters of Cozumel, Mexico. And enjoy pure relaxation on MSC's private island, Ocean Cay, where white sand beaches and exclusive experiences await. You don't want to miss this opportunity to cruise, connect, and create memories with like-minded travelers. Whether you're looking for adventure, relaxation, or both, this cruise has it all. Spaces are limited, and this is your chance to sail with PK Adventure Travels and experience the Caribbean like never before. Call now or visit us online to reserve your spot. The countdown to your dream vacation starts now.
Cool. Oh, that's right. The rock and roll. You know what? I'll take a look and I'll see. I don't know because during that time frame, again, it's during the holidays, so it might be tough for me to get 2 weeks off.
If you can go back in time, and ask Ryan 3 years ago to do that, he might be able to get the PTO approved.
Yeah.
So you guys are going on the World America this year, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome,
I-
Am.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I am too in June. So I'm gonna hide a little duck and I'm gonna see if it's still. You guys can see if it's still there in November.
Yeah.
I'll be there. At the end
Yeah.
No.
I'll have to look at that. But
Yeah, we're going over Thanksgiving.
yeah, we decided to do the Thanksgiving one.
Warm.
What? Oh yeah, Bill. Bill's actually going to be on there. He
Oh,
has
Bill's going. Nice.
It's going to be that. It's Thanksgiving week, and so he was like laughing, and he reached out to me. He's like, I actually booked that same cruise. I was like, well, that's sweet. So
Well, that's cool.
yeah, so Bill will be on there with us, and then we've got the group cruise set up, and I guess we locked in the rates at the right time because it's like $400 cheaper for our group cruise than the going rates right now because they've really hiked it up now that it's getting closer and closer and it's a holiday week. All that premium as we get closer is starting to stack up there.
Right.
So
Book it now, people. Book it now.
right.
Right.
And you don't
Space
have to
limited,
see
book
if you
now.
don't want to see me,
Yeah.
don't see me.
Don't see me.
Do your own thing.
With or without the shirt.
Well, it
Fine.
depends. Do you want
Oh,
There's gonna be lots of people on that cruise. So.
Yeah, and yeah, Rob's got his Boost 3.0 a couple of weeks before, so
Ross, I'm going on that cruise, Ross.
yeah.
Just mess.
I know Mel and I are at least going to go tour the World America the first weekend in May, so we'll have a tour as well. But we were able to talk to our the business manager for MSC that helps out with Expedia. Because everything, like all of the tours are booked out from now until the end of the summer. So I basically got in touch with her. I'm like, hey, we're trying to do the World America group cruise. It would really help if I could get on earlier to get some actual footage to, be able to speak more confidently about it and showcase that. She's like, I'll get you in.
Nice.
So they got us in on the May one. So we'll be down in Miami the first week in May doing that tour. So
Okay.
and
So what, they
depending
just
on
let
how
you
well-
on there for a couple hours?
yeah, it's usually like get on. We're there at like 9:15, and you're on the ship by usually around 10 or so, and then off by 2.
Yeah.
And it's like a whirlwind too. So man, you want to talk about getting your steps in and then running from here to there to here to there. So it's not just like, hey, have fun and show up at 2:00. It's like, all right, follow me, and you kind of go everywhere.
Can you buy anything? Can you buy a drink at the bar? You're not allowed.
No,
No, you can't buy anything.
but with that being said, when usually on these tours, they will take you to lunch and let you experience it. And when we were on MSC, they actually did give us a glass of champagne.
Yeah.
When we were there,
Or a glass of wine.
or no, glass of wine.
Yeah.
It was a glass of wine.
That might be because European.
The European trip, you have to have wine with every meal.
Yeah,
of course.
So,
Makes sense. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to watch that little review that you guys put out. Little whatever sneak peek.
yeah, highlight tours.
We call it
We
highlight
call it highlight
Or
tour.
whatever. I'm
It's
excited.
not
I'm
like
ready.
every single one, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's.
Well, we got way off topic. So
We did. All right, so let's
Is there
reel it
anything
back in, and we can kind of wrap things up. So, what do we have for final tips and tricks for newbies, and then we got to close out the poll.
Relax and have a good time.
Yeah, don't forget you are on vacation. Don't try to
Don't
do it all.
overthink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily try to do it all. Yeah, especially if you're on one of these mega ships, it's not going to happen. You can't do it all.
No.
It's not. It's designed that way on purpose to force you to shit. I got to come back. The next time let's come back and do this, and we'll do these 3 things that we couldn't do last time. And
It's like Disney World.
yeah, it's purposely designed so you can't do it all. So don't try.
Yeah.
Just do what you want to do. Make the vacation that you want to make, right? It's not going to be like anybody else's. I'm not going to vacation like PK does. I'm not going to vacation like CJ does. I'm not going to vacation like Mel does or Christine does or Liz or Chris, right? Everybody vacations differently, and you can do whatever you want. And that's the great thing about cruising, right? One of the reasons why I started my channel is because, hey, I can bring a first-time cruiser on, right? And they can go and do something. Hey, they want to go to the buffet and I want to go to bingo. Hey, I'll meet you at dinner and we can explain what we did and we can share our days, right? We're on the same cruise ship. Where are you going to go? Where are you possibly going to go? You're not going anywhere, right?
I mean, depending on the cruise line, there are a few people who have jumped overboard.
Well, yeah.
But,
Of course.
Not anybody
No,
else bringing on,
I will.
TJ. Nobody
That's
that's
right.
coming with me is jumping off, believe me.
no.
Yeah.
Same here.
But I agree, and I kind of like that. I mean, you hit it right on the head there, Sky. There's so much to do. You don't have to do everything together.
No.
We make that a rule, especially when we go with families. You cannot be
Especially
with your
family.
families all the time.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
say, hey,
Especially
we'll meet you at
family.
dinner and we'll go over our days. That's our rule.
Yeah.
Share the pictures, share the video, show me what you did. And that's the great thing about cruising. Did you enjoy it? Did you have a fun? Oh, we had a blast. Oh my God, it was great. Awesome. That's it. You want to have fun. I want to have fun. You want to have fun. And that's the point of vacation. And And that's
Yeah.
the point of cruising, right? You don't have to do everything. You don't have to eat everything. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to see every live performance. You don't have to
Try to
see
eat
every
everything.
show. And you don't have to buy every necklace. I mean, as much as you would like to buy every necklace.
or every handbag that's in the store, Christine.
Come on.
Oh God, Cheryl, are you still in here? Cover your ears. You don't have to buy, you don't have to buy every bag, Cheryl. Just cover your ears.
Yes, Cheryl, we do.
You do not.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't need another
It's duty free.
or your ship card.
Don't egg her on. Don't egg her on.
But let's be honest. We packed going to Alaska, and we packed going to Alaska at 49.5 pounds each.
Yeah.
And we did have to buy another suitcase to bring home souvenirs because everything would have been overweight.
Yeah.
So it was cheaper to buy like a carry-on
Yep.
and put stuff in the carry-on so you didn't have to check it than it would have been to pay for the excess luggage fees.
Yeah, that's true.
See, by then I already knew. I said, I went with 35 and I came back with 49. I said, I ain't playing this game.
Yeah,
No, you ain't going. No, you ain't going. You ain't going.
Boom,
Nice. 35.
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, Rob. Wow.
wow. There's love. There's love right there.
Into Canadian waters, Rob. You'll turn into an iceberg.
But all right, let's close this poll out and let's see
The
what
poll.
everyone picked.
I answered for the masses. I did not answer for myself.
All right. So again, the question was, what was your biggest concern as a first-time cruiser? Or if you haven't cruised, what would be your big thing? So the number one, just squeaking out number one, is getting seasick. Was the biggest concern
the one
for
I
first-time
picked.
cruiser.
I mean, it is a concern. It is.
When-
I mean,
that was my concern when I was a first timer.
Yeah.
No, it's-
Number two, and this was very close by probably like one vote, was over or under packing was the biggest concern. You know?
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to do,
Yeah.
or easiest mistake to make.
Coming in third was getting lost on the ship. So I'm not surprised that one's so low nowadays with all the interactive stuff you have.
It's true.
You know, it's not as much of a concern, but still, definitely back in the
I
day.
still get lost on the ship.
Yeah, I was say Christine. I sometimes I think she does it on purpose.
No.
No.
And then coming in at the end, but still getting at least a vote, was trying to book the right excursion. You know,
That was me actually. That was my vote.
was it?
Yeah, because I do that. Especially since we've been to a lot of Caribbean and stuff repetitively. In order to not be quote unquote bored,
Right.
when I'm in port or at port, it's I'm worried about should we do this? Should we go do that? Are we is this gonna we're gonna go spend $150 to helmet dive and it's gonna suck? Or
That
something.
was fun though.
I do have a little, and it's not FOMO so much, but I do have a little concern. That was my one vote for that item. That's at this point the only thing I'm concerned about.
Yep. I actually wouldn't mind helmet diving again. I was a little concerned as well, more just for, let's be honest, I get a little overweight. And so, you always see it won't hold you down because, the weight of the helmet is not, you're going to float away. But it actually was fine. I didn't have anything.
Yes.
The head coffee.
Yes. Yes.
My biggest fear, there's no dunking in port.
You just bring your own coffee, just like me. Never ever have to worry about that. I can't drink ship's coffee. I can't do it.
If they're serving Starbucks, I can tolerate it because I'm not paying for it under the drink package, but I'd never go buy it on purpose.
Right.
You prefer the promenade anyways.
I do sometimes prefer the promenade coffee to that stuff, but yes.
Promenade.
Vicky, you're not wrong. Vicky.
If your creator biggest fear is copyright claims.
Running from the Lido. I'm like, no, they're playing the wobble. Shit.
Oh my god.
Gonna ruin my vlog.
The Lido. What's the Lido?
That's the Lido is what that Carnival place calls a pool deck.
Oh, right. The pool
Not
deck.
just
You
Carnival.
mean the pool
He
deck.
means the pool deck.
It's
Princess calls it a Lido
Princess
as well.
calls
You know what? It does. It actually
Oh,
does. You're
Vicky,
right.
you're so funny. That's so
Yep.
funny. That is so right. You are not wrong.
Yep. Not only that, Vicky, but another person that we used to know and see all the time, the Mustard Drill. He almost got kicked out a couple of times because he was live streaming going through the casino while it was operating.
Yes, he did have
Yup.
that. I remember that issue. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember on one of the ones when he was doing it was, that the After Dark one, they were chasing him and he was running back to get away from them live streaming as he got back into the what do they call it? The
atrium?
No, not the atrium. What's the ship within the ship concept on MSC?
Oh, the neighborhoods.
Neighborhoods? No.
Why am I drawing a blank now?
I don't know.
Yacht Club.
Yep.
He was in the Yacht Club. So he went back and used his pass to get back into the Yacht Club, and he's like, I'm never going back out for the rest of the cruise. So
Or no,
Awesome.
he calls it Lido too.
yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I think that kind of brings things to an end today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't
Fun
feel like we
encounter
covered
so
enough,
far.
but we could have
I know.
talked a
I'm
lot.
sure we could have kept on going. So we'll have
Oh,
more
so much
episodes. But thank you again, Scott, for stopping by and chatting with us tonight, sir. We
Yeah,
really
thanks for
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a blast. I love talking cruising. So again, anytime you guys would like to have me back, I would love to talk cruising with you guys. And furthermore, I would love to cruise with every single one of you guys here on the
Yes.
podcast too. So
Yeah.
that will happen hopefully soon.
Hopefully.
Real
Come
Nick.
to Norway with
Cruise
us.
Cruise 4.0, we're on that one.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I just have to beat you in a go-kart race then, Ryan. So I don't know if I want to do that, and do that to you. But I if I do go on that, I am going to beat you, and I'm going to beat Eddie, and I'm going to beat everybody in that go-kart race. So
You know what? As long as Eddie loses, I'm okay losing because he's been talking so much smack.
Okay, I'm scared of Mel, though. She just pointed to herself. Mel just pointed to herself, so I'm kind of scared of
Hey,
Mel.
I learned how to drive in Atlanta.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
That's
All right, I'm
not
kinda
that's
scared
not
of Mel.
go-karts, that's bumper cars.
All right, Peach. All right, everyone. Well, thank you again for stopping by. Again, we just love all the support. Thanks again, Scott, for coming and hanging with us, and we'll catch you guys next time on the Sea Crowd. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.